Welcome to the Afterspin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. I want to ask John Hood and Chris Fitzsimon. The Washington Post reported last week that on January 18th last year, 9 months before the elections, our state board of elections had presented evidence to the U.S. Justice Department of illegal campaign activity from McCrae Dowless, among others, in the 2016 election. Now, while it's not known specifically what happened as a result of the 8-page memo that was delivered to U.S. Attorney Robert Higdon, we do know that no actions were taken. What can we do when justice officials fail to act, John?
Well, before answering the question, I have to stipulate, and you already referred to this, we don't know exactly what was in the referrals or the level of evidence. So it is possible that the Justice Department took the allegations seriously, pursued them, didn't feel like they generated enough evidence to go to any kind of charges. It's possible. But it's also possible that it wasn't taken seriously. Remember that it's not just McCrae Dowless, who used to work for Democrats and now works mostly for Republicans. There were also allegations about a Democratic group in Bladen County coming out of the 2016 election. So you could have gone after operatives in theory of both parties if the evidence was there. But it could be that the Justice Department has been instructed to look at electoral fraud, but this is not the kind of electoral fraud that they're supposed to be looking at the most. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why the ball got dropped, assuming that it did.
Well, Kim Strzok and the State Board of Elections never heard anything back from the U.S. Attorney's Office, right. and they had made several inquiries, including to our own Attorney General about this.
Yeah, I mean, your question is, what do you do? And I hope eventually we'll have the answer to some of these questions, and we'll have a better idea about what happened and what they did or did not investigate. I do think it's interesting. We have to. The priority, I think, for us now has to be to figure out what happened in this past election and figure out what to do about that in North Carolina. I'm appreciative that I understand that the Democrats may have done things wrong in the past too, and we need to get to the bottom of that. But the answer by Republicans to what happened this time is not that the Democrats used to do it. We need to figure it out and have a representative of the people who live in that district in Congress as soon as we can, as soon as we can figure out what happened.
And this story continues to live on. Even this past week, we heard accusations from the state Republican Party that the State Board of Elections was dragging its feet, that they ought to go ahead and declare
even more specific than that. We heard a case, and there was actual testimony about it, that a Republican attempted to cast a ballot. The Democrats threw it away. Okay, so this is not about elections that happened years ago. These are about allegations about this cycle that involved both parties. And the question comes back to, how many ballots are we talking about? If it's not enough to turn the outcome of an election, that is not legally required, but it is a dangerous precedent to set. Dangerous.
You're right about that. But even Dan McCready, who was the runner-up in this 9th District election, says he thought Mark Harris was going to end up behind bars, that there was that if he didn't consciously create illegal.
Well, I mean, there was a Washington Post report, which is I think most people now accept to be generally true, several weeks ago, that he knew about Dowless and he knew what was happening and still wanted him hired. That doesn't mean he committed a crime, but it certainly is there's some problem going on there.
When will we get this one resolved? We'll keep talking about it, I'm sure. Well, thank you for watching the Afterspin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.